Hello and welcome to another episode of Sail Away with Kim and Tyler. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about Kim's journey moving here to America from the UK, some language differences that we've learned about our different cultures over the time that we've known each other, and all different kinds of stuff. So, what was it like moving here from the UK, and what even prompted your decision to do that?
There's always a saying, go big or go home. So I wanted to go big, and, obviously there's a lot of differences over here. Obviously, the health insurance is a big one.
Yeah,
That is
that is a big one. Yeah, so if you don't know, the UK has universal health care, which basically means that it's a guaranteed right to their citizens, not tied to employment like it is in America.
Yeah,
The
so
healthcare system
basically,
is
if you
called,
don't have a job, you're screwed.
in America, for healthcare.
Yeah.
In the UK, it's not even a thought that people have because you just have it as a right of being a citizen of the UK. You're covered under they call it NHS, National Healthcare System, right?
National
Healthcare.
Health Systems.
Yeah, something
NH
something like that.
We call it the NHS,
Right.
National Health System. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. So that was a big shock to Kim coming here. The whole time that we were working on ships, it wasn't something that I had to be concerned about because under Obamacare, you can be on your parents' insurance till you're 26. And I started on ships when I was 23, did it for 2.5 years. So I was 25, about to turn 26 by the time it ended when I got off during COVID, but I was not 26 at all when I was working on ships. So I didn't have to worry about it at that time because I was covered under my mom's insurance because she let me stay on it. Afterwards, I did have to get my own. And then that was a little bit during the time that I was over in the UK. So I do recall.
I don't know how it worked for me because I just thought I just got it.
Well, you were skipping ahead a little bit. I was going to get there. But when you moved here officially, I just put you on my health insurance from my employer. And it was really no big deal.
Yeah, I know that. Just I meant like on ships.
Oh, on ships?
Yeah, I could because
I have no idea what it was like for you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I didn't like. I think
my mom always asked me about. Like, she was really concerned. Like, what if some catastrophic thing happens? Like, there's not a doctor on the ship. There's like a ship doctor, but they don't have full, hospital stuff. And I was like, I don't know, and nothing like that ever happened. So I never thought about it. But she was always, being a parent, understandable. Especially you thinking the worst is going to happen, but
I remember when I syringed my own ear.
Yeah, what happened? Did you have like wax or something? And we tried to get a thing to
I kind of syringed my own
flush it out.
Yeah, and I kind of pressed it. I nearly ruptured my own fucking eardrum, literally.
Yeah,
and I was
that
in
wasn't
pain.
good.
And
I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and I had to call 911 on the ship, which was not something I ever thought I would have to do. I never called 911 on land before. On the ship, I had to.
Yeah.
And someone picked up right away. It was the middle of the night, so there was a nurse who was on call, and then the person at the guest services desk just kind of, took the message of what was going on, and we were like, yeah, I need to talk to someone immediately. And then that person called within like 2 minutes, and I basically told him what happened, and then I told him I had given her ibuprofen, which I had, and he said how much, and I told him how much, and he was like, okay, we open at 8 a.m., come down then.
I was in so much pain, like I could not, like, when you're in that situation where you just can't go to sleep, it's that throbbing that you kind of just need to stay awake and just get it seen to straight away. And yeah, I did some damage. I'm probably still possibly dead right now, to be honest, because of the what I've done. I remember you going in, like, you hear that? I'm like this, no, I'm like this. It's old age. I honestly think I've probably done something.
I wasn't saying that to be rude. There are certain frequencies that you lose as you get older, and there's this is a
I'm only
very...
in my early 30s.
Yes,
He's
I
thinking
know.
I'm in my... I don't
That's
know.
not what I was saying. There was this is a very weird thing to be talking about, but since you brought it up, we have this humidifier in our daughter's room, and it has these little like nozzle sort of things that it shoots the mist out of. And recently it started making this kind of high pitched like whistling sounds. And I can hear it, and it's really really annoying. And I said to Kim, "Don't. What is that?" And then I went in there and figured out that it was the humidifier. And then she came in. And she was like, "What are you talking about? I don't hear anything." And to me, that means that it's so high pitched that she can't hear it because she's lost that hearing. Because, like it or not, we're all getting older. So
Yeah, I
I think that's
guess.
what's going on. Why are we talking about this?
What made us talk about this? I don't know. But anyway, the health system is a big one. Your taxes, trying to understand. I think ours is more straightforward. It's kind of like yours. You have so many categories and so much bullshit that you kind of it's
That's
just
true. I don't disagree with you on
and
that.
ours is just like this is what you pay and you can't really see it in your paycheck. It's kind of like national insurance and then taxes. It's not, I'm sure it's broken down, but they just, how our tax system works is by our income. Like that we'll do like, I think there's 20, I think you do the same, don't you? But I don't know how
Yeah,
yours
I
work.
mean, you're talking about tax brackets. We do have that where, someone who makes minimum wage is not going to be in the same bracket as someone who makes, $250,000 a year. We have that. I think the biggest difference is that you have like a return-free filing system where in the UK, I'm given to understand that they don't have to file their taxes like we do on April 15th every year. They just don't do
It's
that.
our
They just...
employment, unless
Yeah, their employer, I guess, takes care of it. And our employers withhold tax for us. We do that as well, unless you're self-employed. But that's
yeah,
the
it's the
same in the
same.
UK
Yeah,
too. But it's just a lot less kind of effort on the individual's part, I think, right? Would you say that?
yeah. Like I've never had to worry about my
Yeah,
taxes. It
like you
kind of
don't do
gets
your taxes.
no, it kind of gets done. We're a bit. It's kind of nice, but it
I would love to have a system like that.
yeah. Like I always say, we always do it the hard way round, but I feel like they do it the hard way round and we have the easy way round. But when it
Yeah.
comes to like first going to a bank where you can drive through and check, just put your money in, I've never
Yeah,
experienced that
that's
in the
weird that you don't
UK.
have...
And like even going to the petrol station, as you say, gas station, that you can just like someone, well, not in Pennsylvania, but some states that they'll do it for you.
Like Jersey, for example. In New Jersey, they
Yeah.
pump your gas. You're not allowed to do it yourself.
So like you always say, oh, like just do it yourself. But if I don't get that every day, I'm taking full advantage of. But this laziness, if I want to go to the thing instead of just going into the bank to put money in, like
Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, I don't want to go into the bank if I don't have to. I'm not... I was saying more about what Kim's talking about is, and they're closed down now, but they're around here. There will be a lot of gas stations right next to each other just because of like market competition. And so there's one that's not far away from our house that when it was open, they pump your gas for you. And there's another one literally right next to it across. There is an intersection there, so it's on the other side of the intersection. But that one, you pump it yourself. And Kim would go to the other one because they do it for you.
yes, because I like to be lazy. And also when I remember when I deflated my tires.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that. That's crazy. Those...
I kind of went to the place, and normally in the UK you kind of just type it in and it kind of does it for you. But this one,
It's supposed to work that way. That's
but,
how I do it when I go to Wawa and I do our
well,
tires.
maybe I just didn't go to the one which is a chain. I kind of just went to this random one, and I kind of deflated my tires, and then
Instead of
like
inflating
my
them.
car was like on a slant, so that's when I had to get like
Yeah, that's weird.
one of my friends to come and help me to pump up my tires, and he said
Yeah.
like if you would have deflated, I
Yeah.
messed up my car steering. Yeah. So regarding the and also like we have, if you're not earning a certain amount of money, you don't pay taxes, but that's not a thing in America, which I feel like it's a load of bullshit.
Yeah, it's just, at least to my knowledge, I don't think that we have a 0% tax bracket. I don't think that that exists.
And like also like
Maybe it does, and I don't know, but
like I'm making it sound like, oh, why the hell did you move here? Like I moved here for like bigger opportunities. America's got more to give. It's big, and I don't know. I kind of like to explore and have a new adventure. So this is like a nice new adventure for me.
yeah, what you told me when you decided to move here, because if you had said, "Oh, I want you to move to the UK," I would have been on the next flight over. I
Yeah, you
like it
did.
there.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, but what I remember being the biggest reason was that you felt like there were more job opportunities here.
Yeah, I just feel like
And childcare pays better here, doesn't it?
yeah, I do feel like the childcare is a big one. I have always wanted to have my own business, and I feel because it's so much bigger, it's like less of a like competition.
Mm-hmm.
I am also like an entertainer, so I kind of want to do like have my own like business and like doing kids parties, and I feel like America is known for big parties and they always like to do cool events, so that's kind of why I moved there. And also it's like sunny. They have seasons in the UK, it just rain go away, it never bloody does. But to give credit to the UK, it like you don't appreciate your country until you leave. And I obviously miss my family so much. That's like a hard impact. But leaving the country and coming back and seeing how beautiful it is, and you couldn't believe it, could you, on how green it is?
Yeah, the first time I went to the UK, this was almost 5 years ago now. This was August 2019.
Yeah.
I was in between two contracts. I was going for about 5 weeks, and then I was going to go get ready to get on another ship. And I basically said to Kim when we were planning what we were going to do, I was like, oh, I would love to go to Scotland. I've always wanted to go there. And Scotland to the English is sort of like Kim was saying, it's kind of right there. So it's not a destination to them. They want to go abroad. They want to go to Spain, or they want to go to Greece, or they want to go to Italy or France or wherever. So Scotland is not the top, destination for them. But for me, I was like, we're right here. When am I going to get to go again? Someday, sure, but we're a couple 100 miles away. Let's go now. Let's figure it out. And then when we did, and then like you said, it's so green. At least nothing that I had experienced in the United States was anything like it. Maybe there is somewhere, because it's just so vast and expansive, and there probably are terrains like that, climates like that, but I had never seen anything that was truly that green. Like what we did one day, we were there for 3 nights or more.
Yeah, like my sister was currently living in Scotland at the time, so like we did so much stuff, and she's been living there so much longer.
Yeah.
Glasgow, if you ever go to the UK and see Scotland, I do recommend going to Glasgow, but Edinburgh is like right up there.
Yeah, we really liked it there. Her sister and brother-in-law were living there at the time. They don't anymore, but they were living and working there at the time, so we were able to stay with them. And obviously we weren't working, so we were doing some touristy stuff. And one day we did this bus tour from Edinburgh over to Loch Ness, which is obviously a tourist location, but I wanted to go there.
We didn't see no Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, but it was several hours there, and you're driving through the highlands on the way. And I distinctly remember at one point just looking around me on every side of the bus. I was like, this is just a different type of green than what I've ever seen, because we have mountains around here, but in this part of Pennsylvania, obviously now like the Pocono Mountains,
Yeah.
or like even in America, like the Rockies. To me, when I think previously, when I thought of a mountain, that's what I thought of. But in Scotland, obviously the Scottish Highlands, like those are mountains, and they're green and grassy. And I was like, this is just so different than anything that I've ever seen before. And that's when it dawned on me that it's actually that green, because it rains like 200 plus days a year.
Yeah, and you wonder
It
why
has
we
to
don't
come
go
from
to
somewhere.
Scotland.
Yeah. So
Why
point
would
taken.
go to
But
Scotland?
I really wanted to go, and I'm glad we got to go. And
Yeah.
we went somewhere else on that bus trip. It was a 1 day thing. It was a round trip to Edinburgh.
Yeah. Glasgow was nice, but I feel like it's more of a like.
We just took a train there.
And I feel like Edinburgh's got like loads of character. It's known for its like Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, I think that
the castle.
I was just going to say, I think they based, at least in the movie, I think that they sort of based Hogwarts off of the Edinburgh Castle, didn't they?
Didn't they do a bit of a James Bond scene on the in the?
They shot something. I want to say it was Skyfall, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was at the Highlands.
Yeah, that was some street in the Highlands, and I think that there's a bridge in at least one of the Harry Potters that we passed on that bus trip. So that was kind of cool to go there.
And we went to, well, people say, oh, Scotland, haggis. So.
Yeah, we had to try some haggis.
Our friend said from the cruise ship, that's not haggis, that's not what you need to try, the proper haggis. So haggis, what would you say, like, what type of...
Well, I guess we've never still at this point had like a real traditional haggis. We did have two different kinds of haggises there. Like in this day and age, people are obviously constantly like, reinventing and changing and putting their own spin on things, their own take on things. So the first one that we had, did we have the haggis balls first, or the other one first? It was like in a batter,
wasn't it? Or some kind of
it was good. We went to Glasgow for the day. We took a train from Edinburgh, and I remember it being like 35 minutes, which was insane to me, that you can get from one major city to another city on a train in 35 minutes.
And we have so many accents just in a small closed
That's
space.
True, yeah. That was another thing that was interesting to try to navigate for my first time being over there, let alone when we went to Liverpool.
Liverpool's a different story.
Yeah.
Like, you saw a person in Iskilt.
There was a guy playing. I'll have to put some B-roll in here of the bagpipe player. That was pretty cool. But back to the haggis. So when we went to Glasgow, we didn't have a plan at all. We just were going to check it out and see what's going on. So when we got off the train station, I think we were looking for somewhere to eat. Right?
Yeah.
And
it was like a platter, of like...
Yeah, it was like
food.
tapas, sort of.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember what else we had.
It was like different pies.
Yeah, there were like 3 different choices that we got. And so we got these haggis balls. And so they are like deep fried, like imagine like arancini kind of thing.
So.
Yeah. But they put the filling, like it's like sheep lungs and stuff in the haggis, right?
Yes, that's what it's made of.
Yeah. So they put that in, they breaded it, like battered it and deep fried it. So pretty much anything that you deep fry is going to taste pretty good. Yeah. So it was good. But then there was another time, I think after we did the castle, we went to this restaurant. Yeah. It was attached to a distillery, and we could have done a tour of the distillery.
Whiskey was.
Yeah. We chose not to do that. But we had dinner at this kind of nice restaurant. And so
it's like a cottage pie, but...
It was, yeah. I will try to see if I can put this photo up here too of our food. It's from 5 years ago, so I'll have to dig back and look it up. But and I'll try to put a photo of a traditional haggis.
What did you think of it when you tried it?
It was not unlike anything I had ever tasted before, to be honest. It just tasted like ground meat and beef and whatever. Was there some kind of sauce with it or something?
Yes, I think it's just because we had it like...
Yeah, it wasn't like a Michelin restaurant, but it was not like a pub. They were it was like a nicer upscale restaurant. So they were trying to do like an elevated version of it.
What did you think of the pork pie?
It was 5 years ago. I don't remember everything.
It was, remember, it was like in some
No.
kind of like pastry with like pork, and it had some jelly in it.
I truly don't remember that.
I'll have to
Maybe
put
if we find a
picture.
picture, I can jog my memory. But
You love the sausage rolls, though. We make the best banging sausage rolls.
yeah.
I know bangers and mash, but this sausage roll is in the pastry. Oh,
yeah,
like,
we'll put a picture up of that too if you don't know what it is.
Greg's.
Yeah, Greg's is sort of like, it's a chain, and it's everywhere in the UK. They have them everywhere.
Remember
sort
when I
of
gave
like
you sausage rolls with the jacket potato, beans and cheese?
yes, that's a meal to them, by the way.
Oh man, it's time.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. But there's lots more to talk about with,
like
food.
Yeah, and like differences.
Lots of food stuff, different words. Even your move here, we can talk about your immigration process a little bit, what that involved, and we're not going to talk about the legal stuff at all.
Green
But
card holder now, though.
Yeah.
It's due to expire soon, so I need to renew it.
That's
another story.
Yeah. All kinds of different stuff. So if you want to listen to more stories we have to share, make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you can get that when we put out new episodes.
Yeah,
we put out new episodes every other Friday.
Yeah, if you've got any questions or anything you want to know, then, spill the beans and I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, leave a comment and we'll be happy to answer your questions on a future episode.
Yeah. Cheerio.
Yeah, thanks for listening and we'll catch you next time.